Chihuahuas. What adorable little bundles of rage. But where did Chihuahuas come from? Well, the answer goes back over 1,000 years to the predecessors of the Aztec civilization, the Toltec. Chihuahuas were initially bred by the Toltec. These original dogs were known as Chichichis. The Toltec civilization dominated central Mexico following the 9th century collapse. The Chichichis were bred initially to be hunting dogs and companions. It was believed that Chichichis had supernatural powers such as foresight. Chichichis were often sacrificed following the deaths of their owners because it was believed that the dog guided its owner to the afterlife. Some nobles even had large packs comprising hundreds of dogs. When the Toltec civilization finally collapsed due to invasion by the Aztecs, many of the Chichichis escaped and were recaptured by other cultures, such as the Mayans, Taino, and the Aztec themselves, but others were acquired through trade. These peoples did not understand the initial purpose for the breeding of Chichichis, and due to a lack of any viable livestock, many of the later cultures started to use the Chichichis as livestock. This was also amplified by the significant food shortages many Native American civilizations were facing following the 9th century collapse, which I'll eventually make a video about. By the time the Spanish arrived, Chichichis comprised about 10% of the Mayan diet. As smallpox ravaged Mesoamerica, many of the Chichichis got out because their owners had died. However, there was no one around to recapture the escaping dogs, and soon a wild population of Chichichis would form, mostly in the Mexican Northwest and Southwest United States. Chichichis ran wild for over 300 years until the late 1800s, when Americans began to take interest in the dog. Dog hunters from throughout the U.S. came to the Southwest to capture Chichichis and sell them to Eastern socialites. However, they did not have a common breed name. The dog hunters usually called the Chichichis they caught after where they caught them. Therefore, some Chichichis were sold as Texas dogs, some were Arizona dogs, and there were even California dogs. However, the most popular were the dogs from the Mexican state of Chihuahua. One of the first accounts of Chihuahuas was written by dog judge and writer James Watson, who visited the state of Chihuahua while traveling from New York to San Francisco. There, Watson purchased a Chihuahua he named Manzanita from a merchant for $5, today $133. Watson returned to Juarez to buy several more dogs, including the breed's first champion, a Chihuahua named Juarez Bell. Watson described the dogs in the American Kennel Register as small enough to fit in his pocket. In the 1890s, the Mexican president gifted famous Italian-French singer Adelina Patti a bouquet of flowers with a Chihuahua in them. Patti brought the breed back to Europe. The first Chihuahua wasn't registered with the American Kennel Club until 1904, when Texan H. Rayner registered his Chihuahua, Midget. In 1923, the Chihuahua Club of America formed, with the popularity of the breed only growing with time. The Chihuahua has a long and complex history, despite the fact that modern Chihuahuas likely have less than 3% of their original lineage, with breeders altering the dog throughout the 1900s. Chihuahuas are by far one of the dog breeds with the most interesting stories behind them. Thanks for watching.